Well, again, we come to chapter 15 of the Screwtape letters. This may be one of my favorite chapters. I know it's one of my favorite chapters. It may be my favorite. Again, there's some great stuff in here. I find myself thinking about this over and over again. Screwtape writes to Wormwood, "The humans live in time, but our enemy destines them to eternity. Therefore, I believe he wants them to attend chiefly to two things, to eternity itself and to that point of time which they call the present. For the present is the point at which time touches eternity." Of the present moment, and only of it, humans have an experience, analogous to the experience which our enemy has of reality as a whole. In it alone, freedom and actuality are offered to them. We talk about that line that says, the experience which our enemy has of reality as a whole. Now, I hope you have some aspirin or Tylenol nearby, because sometimes this can give you a headache to think about. To realize that God sees all of time as now. That's why there is no before and after for God. That's why we get caught up in time here on earth. So that leads to all those crazy questions of like, are we changing God's mind by our prayer? Again, the fact is that God knows what we're going to do already. He sees the moment that we're praying. He sees the moment, afterwards. What we see as consecutive time as all exactly at the same time. All of eternity is now. There isn't before, there isn't after. There is just that eternity of now. He says, so in the present alone, freedom and actuality are offered to them. It's only in living in the moment that we're truly free. And we'll see why that is as we go on. Because Wormwood is warned, our business is to get them away from the eternal and away from the present. With this view, we sometimes tempt a human, say a widow or a scholar, to live in the past. That idea of living in the past, of thinking about how things used to be. The line comes to mind of, what was it? I think it was Yogi Berra, a classic yogiism that says, nostalgia ain't what it used to be. Again, sometimes we get caught up in what the past was, but we get little bits and pieces. We only think about the good things. We don't see the bad things that happen along the way. And so sometimes it's really tempting to live in the past. But he says, the past is of limited value, for they have some real knowledge of the past, and it has a determined nature, and to that extent resembles eternity. When we look at the past happened. We can't go back and change it. We can't do anything about it, but at least it really happened. It was a fact of the past. Wormwood is told it is better to make them live in the future. To always think about the future, because the future is unknown to them. So that making them think about it, we make them think of unrealities. In a word, the future is, of all things, least like eternity. Again, the future has infinite possibilities of what could happen. If I'm walking away from this podium, I can go any direction. I have that possible to me. There was only one way in the past that I walked here, but in the future, I can go any direction I want. And again, that idea that the unreality of the future. If everything is possible, then nothing is real until it happens. It only happens in the present moment. As long as there is that unreality, we're outside the realm of God, for whom all things are real. And then we're, again, in the realm of the devil, of worrying about things that really are not there. For indeed, he points out, the past is frozen and no longer flows. The present is all lit up with eternal rays. Again, that's why the future is preferable to the devil than the past, and definitely more than the present. The present, what a great phrase that is. The present is all lit up with eternal rays. Again, it is the moment where eternity touches time. We're told gratitude looks to the past and love to the present. We can look back on the past and be thankful for the things we saw. We can be in love in the present moment of being able to be there. But he says, fear, avarice, lust, and ambition look ahead. Again, fear. Worry about what it is that's going to occur. Avarice, wanting more than I have right now in this moment. Lust of looking for some sort of sexual pleasure or conquest. Ambition, desire to make myself greater than I am now. Again, all these things are the matter of trying to live not in the present, but always worried only about the future, so much that we miss the very moment that we are in. We hear, to be sure, the enemy wants men to think of the future too, just so much as it is necessary for now planning the acts of justice or charity, which will probably be their duty tomorrow. You know, it's a difference between going to bed and thinking, here's the things I have to do tomorrow, versus here's all the things that might happen to me tomorrow. We have to do some planning, and the only way you can plan for tomorrow is to do it today. But again, we have to make sure that we see everything is in the present. Tomorrow, in the present, I'll have to do this, 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 and this as we go along. Screwtape tells Wormwood, we want a whole race perpetually in pursuit of the rainbow's end, never honest or kind or happy now, but always using as mere fuel wherewith to heap the altar of the future every real gift which is offered to them in the present. I've often used this example for sin. It's chasing the end of the rainbow. If I get to the end of the rainbow, that's where the thing that's going to make me happy is. We struggle, we get there, we move, we get to the end of the rainbow, and guess what? Oh, the end moved over here. So obviously that's the place I have to be. And again, it's a never-ending movement, always running, always searching for the things that we think are going to make us happy, but they are never there. They're never present to us. It's only by being happy where I am now and saying, right here is the place where I'm going to find happiness. Are we ever going to find it? Screwtape says, your man may be untroubled about the future, not because he is concerned with the present, but because he has persuaded himself that the future is going to be agreeable. As long as that is the real course of his tranquility will do us good. Again, if you just think, oh, everything's absolutely going to be all right. Hopefully it will be. But we also know the invocation to pick up our cross daily and follow the Lord. If he's deluding himself, there's the famous meme that they have out there of the dog sitting in the house with everything on fire, who just says, everything is just fine. Again, the idea that everything's going to be fine in that situation is not truth. We know that if, on the other hand, he is well aware of the horrors that may be in store for him and is praying for the virtues wherewith to meet them, and meanwhile concerning himself with the present, because there and there alone all duty, grace, all knowledge, and pleasure dwell, his state is very undesirable and should be attacked at once. Screwtape says, here again, our philological arm. Again, philology is a branch of linguistics that deals with words and their meanings and how things move and change the matter of meaning over the years. He says, here our philological arm has done good work. Try the word complacency on him. But of course, most likely that he is living in the present for none of the reasons, but simply because his health is good and he's enjoying his work. And if he's just saying, everything's great, I'm not even going to think about tomorrow, maybe he's missing something about what's in the present. Again, that idea of being complacent. Right here is good enough. No, all of us are made to grow each and every day as we go along. If we just say, right here is good enough, I don't need to move ever again, there's a problem. If we say, right here is good for today, but tomorrow I hope to have that growth, and we put it into action, then we're moving along the path that we're called to follow. You know, Wormwood says, or Wormwood is told, no natural phenomenon is really in our favor. And anyways, why should the creature be happy? We always have to remember, the devil does not want our happiness. He offers us pleasures, but he does not want us to be happy. So again, any questions? Send it to my email address here at the parish, and I'll get back to the questions as soon as I can. Look forward to, again, if you're watching these each week, we're already, can you believe it, halfway through the book, halfway through Lent. And we begin next week to start into the second part of the book. Again, it's not that it's divided in two parts, but we've come to about the middle of it already. It's hard to believe. If you're watching all these at once, then we've still got a ways to go. So thanks for everybody for tuning in.